what's going on with everybody? Thank you for tapping in with me again today. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Cleveland. So happy Saturday, everybody. Hope everybody having a good day so far. I actually did a whole video earlier in the morning. And when it came time to do some editing, no sound. No sound. So that was a bit of a pain. So now I got to redo this. I can't recreate the events that already happened earlier, but I can tell you about them. And then we'll do our best to kind of like make it all make sense. Anyway, so as you all know, if you have a fish room, you have a fish tank, you have anything like that, you go in there, you take a look at your fish first thing in the morning. If you have a fish room, cut on the lights, or the lights might cut on automatically. Anyway, you assess your fish room, assess the tanks, the fish, making sure everybody's good, things like that. Well, I moved the Black Arrow out of this 40-gallon down here, and I showed you that we had a World Clown Knife. And I also mentioned that, he's been in hiding for a long time. So he stayed in hiding the whole time I had him. Never ate, anything like that. And unfortunately, he died this morning. I'm a little annoyed by that. I'm not really sad, but I'm more of annoyed by it because I did everything I possibly could to make sure he survived. I threw him in a 75-gallon right there behind you down below. He didn't like that tank. So I put him in that tank. He was the biggest fish in there. He went into hiding until he got razor thin. I'll show you a little image, but he stayed in hiding until he got razor thin. And the first time I seen him out swimming was yesterday. And then today, he's gone. It happens. It happens. That's why I really emphasize on the importance of having your fish eat. I know some people will say, oh, make sure you starve your fish instead of feeding them live fish or whatever. I don't think he was eating live fish, but nonetheless, if he was eating live fish, I would have fed him live fish. It's so important that when you buy your fish that you get your fish eating. Then if you decide to try to starve him, to try to get him, wean him up off of live foods and things like that, you could do so. But you can't do so when you first get the fish because you don't even know when the last time it was that he ate. I tried all type of different foods to feed him. Nothing worked. He wanted to stay in hiding the whole time. And that's what happens. If a fish don't eat, they're going to starve to death. Can't do nothing about it. Like I said, I'm more irritated about it because a World Clown Knife is definitely one of the more exotic clown knife fish. But what could you do, right? Now, the one that did make me upset was the one that was in the 75-gallon. Now, I also moved out the Azul Peacock Bass yesterday. I knew it. Something said move him out. So I moved the Azul Peacock Bass. And good thing I did because this morning I came in here checking my tanks and everything. And the Red Tiger Motor and then the Red Tiger Motor Gwins ate the eyes out of my Blue Phantom Pleco. Now that one I'm upset about. Now I mentioned time and time again how much I really enjoy Pleco fish. I really enjoy Plecostomus. One of my favorite fish. I think that they are amazing when it comes to assisting with keeping your driftwood clean. And also if you have driftwood, that's one way to kind of like alleviate the tannins in the water. So I'm a big fan of Plecos. And the more exotic the Pleco is, the better I like them. The Blue Phantom, the Blue Phantom, the Green Phantom, the Golden Nugget, the Red Titan. There's some on my bucket list, and the Blue Phantom was on the bucket list. And I finally had him. He was in a 75-gallon down there, thriving, doing good. Then I get this Red Tiger Motor Gwins. Red Tiger Motor Gwins is a very nasty fish. They are aggressive, and even at 3 inches, they are super aggressive. Right now, he's getting like chased around. I moved him into the 150-gallon. So he's getting chased around by one of the Dovai Feste Fry. That's what you get. But, they can hold their own. They hold their own really well. And I'm not really worried about that so much. But yeah, he ate the eyes out of my Blue Phantom Pleco. And that made me upset. So I moved him out. I didn't want him to do any more damage. He already, again, and this is me not even seeing him going after any fish. But he did kill a few fish. He killed a few fish. Two of my Pictus catfish. One of my Dovai Feste fry. I seen him eating off that little fry yesterday. And then that's when I said I'm about to get that peacock bass out of here. If I would have thought that it was going to be something like that, I would have moved out. I would have moved him out of there earlier. But then this morning he took out the blue phantom pleco. So I moved him out of the 75 gallon. I cleaned him. All of this was recorded. It was a nice long video. All this was recorded. So I cleaned the aquarium down there, and I moved him on out to the 150. Now, I do have in there some larger fish, but that's the best place for him to go. Anywhere else, it might be a problem. I might be able to even put him inside of the 225 with the Madagascar and the Oscar. I know you're probably thinking like, oh, the Oscar's going to eat him, but I've had fry with the Oscar. The Oscar don't really trip off a small fish. A lot of times when these bigger fish, you know, when you put a smaller fish in the tank with a bigger fish, they don't really feel like there's competition, because obviously the smaller fish is going to kind of like, you know, shy away from the bigger fish when the bigger fish is eating and things like that. So they don't really see the smaller fish as competition. So you have a better chance sometimes with certain bigger fish putting a smaller fish in there than you would putting a fish in there of equal size. The other thing is putting a fish in there that's much larger than the large fish that's in the aquarium. So it's like things that you learn along the way. And being that I keep all aggressive fish, I mean, every single tank I have is aggressive predatory fish. Whether it's the 150, 75 gallon, 225 salt, 225 fresh, 240 fresh, 40 gallon fresh, 60 gallon fresh, 54 gallon brackish, 55 gallon salt, 125 salt. Like the only tank that I have that's pretty much supposed to be community, and I'm doing a quotes, the air quotes, because I've had community fish turn on each other and kill each other, whether it be jewel cichlids, whether it be angelfish, guppies, whatever. Fish are opportunistic. They're opportunists, meaning that if they see a fish that's a little bit less passive, or a fish that actually is passive and less aggressive, they become more aggressive. They become the aggressor. So it don't really matter whether you have an aggressive fish or it's supposed to be community fish. You put that community fish in a certain setting, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, this is an aggressive fish. So you learn that along the way. And I can't really show you the 40 gallon, or I can't really show you the Royal Clown knife because he's moved out. Like, it's been hours now. I expected for you guys to be able to see this video, but here it is now. I got to redo it. But I can show you the 75 gallon, and I can show you that I cleaned it. Matter of fact, I got some footage that I could probably like add into this video, and then you can see that, you know, I did clean it, and you know, things like that that you might want to see. I don't really know what part of the footage actually still has sound, but I did see that there was some portions that did have sound. I might use them, I might not. Nonetheless, Saturday is still a good day, even though I had 2 losses today. You know, when you have this many fish in this many aquariums, you know, you're going to have losses. And if you say you're not, you're lying. If you say you don't, you're lying. It is what it is. You cannot control everything. You could do your best to keep these animals healthy and in the best condition possible, and they still do whatever they want. These are their homes. You know, it's a glass box. We put them in there, and they do what they're going to do. But let's take a look at the 75 gallon. It did clear up a bit. And then we'll take a look at the 150 gallon. I'll show you the red tiger Modigwins. He's like right there. And again, like I said, everybody else down there is doing good in the 40 gallon. But let's go ahead and show you these 2 tanks. We'll go ahead and wrap it up, and then we'll end this video, and I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. All right, so check it out. So as you can see, the tank is looking a bit cloudy because I did a 50% water change on it, but it still looks good. And you could tell it's definitely going to clear up. It's going to clear real good probably by the end of today. And I do like the way the new scape is, and I'm even happier that I won't be taking any more losses because we did move out that red tiger Modigwins. Where is he at? In here somewhere. So as you can see, we have a bunch of Dovii Feste fry in here. Those are 2 Dovii fry. All those are Dovii fry. There's the red tiger Modigwins right there. So that's the red tiger Modigwins that was causing all the trouble. Yep, there he is. So, more suited for this aggressive aquarium, this 150 gallon. And these little Dovai Feste fries seem to be keeping him in his place. So I don't have to worry about him trying to kill either of them. And then, like I said, the 75 gallon, as you can see, we still have a little bit of bickering between the two green terriers. That's to be expected. But they still look absolutely stunning in here. Their finnage, their fins are looking good. You got a little split right there. It's nothing. But for the most part, this is a very, it's whatever. It's a kind of whatever aquarium. It's a beautiful aquarium, but I can't say it's like peaceful. But it's definitely not overly aggressive either. Aside from that one fish that I had to get up out of here, that red tiger Modigwins, that was a troublemaker. But anyway, let's take a look at the 40 gallon over here. Got our albino bichir. We have our electric blue Jack Dempsey. We have an Umbi cichlid in here. And then we have some more Dovai Feste fry. Also have in here a loach that does a magnificent job of hiding. But at least our electric blue is right here on Front Street. All right, anyway. So yeah, that's why, like I always say, it's definitely important for you to watch your fish. Pay very close attention to your fish, especially if they're new to the aquarium. And I do that. I do that all the time. But, you know, things will happen when you're not in a room. Things will happen when the lights are off. And you could only react to them. So if you're able to get ahead of it, that's amazing. Get ahead of it whenever you can and as often as you can. But if you can't and something like this happens, don't beat yourself up. You can do the best job possible and things will still happen. Don't worry about that. And don't let anybody else put you down about it. Just do the best you can. That's all you could ever ask for. Just do the best you can. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. It wasn't really a, you know, we didn't show a lot of exciting things. It was more like the losses that we experienced today at the Fish Corner. And again, I just wanted to share with you. Don't want to hide anything. Want to let you know how you deal with it, or one of the ways you could deal with something. You know, you could stress yourself out, but don't stress yourself out. Please do not stress yourself out. Life is already as hard as it is. You do not need to stress yourself about your fish doing something out of your control. But that's all I have. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Hope that you learned something. Hope that you were inspired by something. And, you know, don't get the cramps in your fingers after you watch the video. Don't let your fingers cramp up. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. What am I saying? If you like the video, hit that button. Like the video. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Peace. All right, y'all. So we almost at 20K. We almost at 20K. I appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share the content. Help us get to that 20K. Also, follow us over on TSC with me on TikTok and YouTube. That is our other channel, Behind the Scenes. You get to see all the behind the scenes content. Aida's in charge of that one. She's been doing a wonderful job getting ahead of me. So if you want to get ahead of me too, you got to follow over there. But again, I appreciate you all. Let's get to that 20K. Have a good one. Peace.